Well, a very good morning to you, and we are glad that you have joined us for this National Assembly proceedings morning sitting on this Thursday of 21st, the year 2024. This is the 21st of March, the year 2024. And this is a live broadcast that is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in partnership with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. Now, the members of the National Assembly approved to hold this Thursday morning sitting with the purpose to consider priority business that is coming ahead over the recess. Remember, the National Assembly is set to take a 2-week recess or a 2-week break, and there are priority business that the House plans to consider or dispense with before they proceed on this 2-week recess. And in the business that has been set aside to be considered in this morning sitting is that 4 bills that have been in the last 2 weeks have had debate or have seen debate on the floor of the National Assembly will now be committed to be considered at the Committee of the Whole House stage. These are 4 bills. The first bill is the Houses of Parliament Bicameral Relations Bill. It is a bill that is originating from the National Assembly and is sponsored by the INAB COI member. This is Honorable Samuel Chepkonga. We will look at what the bill entails in a few minutes, but the second bill that is lined up to be considered at the floor of the House this morning is the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, also originating from the National Assembly. This is a bill that is sponsored by the leader of the majority party, Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah. The National Government Coordination Amendment Bill, also originating from National Assembly by Malava MP, Honorable Malulu Injendi, is also part of the bills that are set to be considered at the Committee of the Whole House stage this morning, as well as the National Government Administration Laws, also a bill from the National Government, from the National Assembly. This is a bill sponsored by the leader of the majority party. So these 4 bills, if you can recall, is that debate on this bill was extensively done on the floor of the House in the past few weeks. The House of Parliament Bicameral Relations is a bill that seeks to foster the bicameral relations by prescribing procedures for ensuring seamless consideration of the legislative business of both houses. Remember, at this point, the bicameral parliament has 2 houses, that is the National Assembly and the Senate. So this is a bill that will seek to ensure seamless consideration of legislative business of both houses by fostering bicameral relations. This bill also seeks to provide for the this bill also provides for the publication of bills that originate from the either Senate or National Assembly, the enactment formula, and imposes timeless for such publication to cure scenarios where the government printer at times delays in the printing of bill request. But as you can see, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Gladys Boss, is walking into the chambers with the mess ahead of her. She is the one who will be presiding over this morning sitting. Allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast brought to you by PBU in partnership with KBC. Good morning.
Members, let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliament for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. I direct that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes.
Well, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Gladys Bose, has directed that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes. And this is pursuant to the House Standing Order number 34. If at the commencement of the House business, if the House does not have a total number of 50 members seated inside the chambers, then a quorum bell will be rung, of course, to alert the members who may be within the precincts of Parliament but yet to get to the chambers to hasten their steps and make their way to the chambers so as to enable the House achieve that required quorum for the commencement of the House business. Remember, Thursday, normally in the morning, the House does not sit, but this is an agreement that was reached after the members realized that there is a priority business that is yet to be dispensed with. But the House is also expected to proceed on a 2-week recess, and this House decided to sit this morning to consider that particular priority business before it proceeds for that recess. So we understand that members will be making their way to the chambers and enable the House achieve that required number of them for the House business to start. In the House of Parliament Bicameral Relations Bill, a bill that is one of those that will be considered at the Committee of the Whole House stage, is that 4 members, or there are amendments that have been proposed to this bill. These members include the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs. This is Honorable George Murugara. These also, the leader of the majority party also intends to move amendments to this particular bill. The member for Ndiwa, Honorable Martin Owino, also has amendments to this particular bill, as well as the member for Funyula, Honorable Dr. Ujembo Undo, will also be moving some amendments to this particular bill, and these amendments will be considered at that particular committee of the whole House stage, that once the House achieves its quorum and the business starts, these bills will be looked at that particular stage. The Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill also has amendments that have been proposed to it. The Chairperson Committee on Delegated Legislation has various amendments that he seeks to move with regards to this bill. The National Government Coordination Amendment Bill also, there are a number of amendments that will be considered, as well as the National Government Administration Laws. These are bills that the members extensively debated on in the last few days. And at the Committee of the Whole House stage is where amendments that during the debate at the second reading stage, some of the proposals or views or opinions that came about during the debate, this is the time that the amendments may be considered, as well as voted on whether they will be adopted or rejected. But this is a point where amendments are considered on the bills. A motion by the leader of the majority party on the report of the Committee of the Whole House on the statute law, miscellaneous amendments, a bill originating from the National Assembly, whose also consideration at the committee was also completed, is set to be put to question ahead of third reading. Remember, once the House is done with considerations of a bill at the Committee of the Whole House stage, there is a report before it proceeds for the third reading and then on to the next stage. So the motion on the report of the Committee of the Whole House on the statute miscellaneous amendments is part of the business that the leader of the majority party will be seeking the House or to agree with the report of that whole House on its consideration of that bill. If you're just joining us, is that the National Assembly is holding a morning sitting this Thursday. Top on the agenda is the consideration of priority business that the House seeks to conclude on or dispense with before it proceeds for a 2-week break. And currently is a quorum bell that is underway. That is the Sergeant at Arms keeping tabs with the numbers of the members who are walking into the chambers. The chair has already been taken, that is the Speaker is already in the House, but if the House does not have the required number of members present at the commencement of the House business, it necessitates a quorum bell for the members to understand that their presence is needed. And in a few minutes, we will have that quorum achieved. I just seen the Sergeant at Arms signaling that there are about 5 members yet to make their way to enable the House achieve. And once that number is achieved, as you can see, members are trickling in. This is Honorable Member Caleb Amisi walking in. Once that number is achieved, that Sergeant at Arms will alert the clerk and the Speaker, and the House will be called to order for the business of the day to start. The Land Laws Amendment Bill, a bill that is originating from the National Assembly, also by the leader of the majority party, is also lined up for consideration. It is a bill that is at its second reading stage, and debate on this bill will be taking place in today's morning sitting. And this bill seeks to make variety of amendments to laws that relate to land to enhance efficiency in matters relating to grants and dispositions and compulsory acquisition of land. This is a bill that seeks to make variety of amendments to laws that relate to land to enhance efficiency in matters relating to grants and dispositions and compulsory acquisitions or acquisition of land. This bill seeks to introduce amendments relating to general conditions, relating to leases, licenses, and agreements for public land, to introduce new provisions to regulate rent for the several periods and valuation of land for rent. In addition, the bill seeks to amend provisions relating to compulsory acquisition of interest in land. The quorum, or the requisite number of members inside the chambers, is yet to be achieved. And once that quorum is available or is reached at, the House will commence its business. The leadership at this point normally whips the members to make their way to the chambers. And of course, immediately that number is achieved, then we will be going direct into the business of the day. This Land Laws Amendment Bill is a bill that concerns county governments in terms of Article 110(1) A of the Constitution. This bill also, let's see whether the Sergeant at Arms will indicate still counting. Still counting, but if you're just joining us, is that this is a morning sitting of the National Assembly Thursday. There you have it. The quorum has been achieved. Allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast of the National Assembly proceedings that is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in partnership with KBC. A very good morning. My name is Kamche Menza.
Of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today. That's the March 21st, 2024 morning sitting. The following documents relating to statutory instruments from the Ministry of Health. A, legal notice number 49 of 2024 relating to the Social Health Insurance Regulations 2024. B, legal notice number 48 of 2024 relating to the Social Health Insurance Tribunal Procedure Rules 2024. C, the explanatory memorandum on the regulations and rules. D, the regulatory impact statement on the regulations and rules. E, consolidated written submission matrix. F, the consolidated physical public participation and stakeholder engagement matrix. G, reports of the public participation and stakeholder engagement. H, public notice correspondence and attendance list for stakeholders engagement and public participation. Number 2, legal notice number 50 of 2024 relating to the National Electronic Single Window System General Regulations 2024 and the explanatory memorandum from the National Treasury. Number 3, the combined 6th and 7th report of all treaties ratified by Kenya from the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay. Thank you.
Chairperson for Decentralized Funds, you have a paper?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House to date Thursday, 21st of March 2024, for the report of the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the reports of the Auditor General of the financial statements for the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF account for the financial years 2016, 2017, 2017, 2018, 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020, 2020, 2021, and 2021, 2022. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Chairperson, Decentralized Funds Committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to give notice of the following motion. That this House adopts the report of the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund account for the financial years 2016, 2017, 2017, 2018, 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020, 2020, 2021, and the 2021, 2022 laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 21st March, 2024. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements. Order number 8, motion, report of the Committee of the Whole House on the Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendments number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2023. Question to be put and third reading.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendments number 2 Bill of the National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2023. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover?
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendment number 2, Bill National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2023 be now read a third time, and I also request Honorable Abraham to second.
Honorable Madam Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose that the Statute Miscellaneous Amendments Bill number 2, Bill National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2023 be now read a third time. Is it the mood of the House that we should put the question? Okay. Honorable members, I now put the question that the Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendments Bill, National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2023 be now read a third time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. What's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I'm fearing that you are making approvals when the House does not have sufficient quorum. We don't have the quorum, but you know you have gone ahead to make some serious approvals on those bills. We don't have quorum. There's no quorum. Yeah, count.
The numbers are there. Yes, it was confirmed to me that we have quorum. Let's proceed to the next order.
A bill for an act of parliament to make various amendments to statute law and for connected purposes. Order number 9, the Insurance Professionals Bill, National Assembly Bill number 13 of 2024, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to make provision for the establishment of the Insurance Institute of Kenya and the Insurance Professionals Examinations Board to provide for examination, registration, and regulation of standards and practice of insurance professionals and make provision for matters concerned therewith and incidental thereto. Order number 10, Committee of the Whole House.
You know, Honorable Nyikal, you're actually becoming very popular for being just a nuisance and trying to cause trouble in the House. I think let us try and conduct the business with decorum that the country deserves. Let's proceed. Okay.
Haya basi. Order, members. Honorable Kirima, take your seat. Honorable Kengara, take your seat. Order, members. We are now in the Committee of the Whole. We are starting with the Houses of Parliament Bicameral Relations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 44 of 2023.
Clause 3.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Chair, I beg to move that clause 3 be amended as shown on the order paper. The justification is this: we have to correct typographical errors, and we have also to include the provision of a procedure to govern joint sittings between committees of the two houses as an object of the bill. I beg to move.
Thank you. I therefore propose the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 3 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I beg to move that clause 5 be amended as shown on the order paper. The justification is simple. We have to align the provisions in the clause with the language of Article 116 of the Constitution.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I beg to move that clause 6 be amended as shown on the order paper. And the rationale is that we have to align the provisions of the clause with the language of Article 110(3) of the Constitution.
I propose the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 6 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clauses 7, 8, 9.
No amendments. I propose the question that clause 7, 8, and 9 be part of the bill. And I now put the question that clauses 7, 8, and 9 be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I beg to move that clause 10 be amended as shown on the order paper. The rationale is simple. We have to correct some typographical errors.
I therefore propose the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the chair, and put the question that clause 10 is be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 10 is amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 11.
I propose the question that clause 11 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I propose that clause 11 be amended as shown on the order paper, and the rationale is as follows. We have to allow the sponsor of a bill to reconsider the contents of a bill on which the two speakers are unable to jointly resolve a question that has arisen, and we have also to increase the period given to a person or a body of persons appointed to advise the speakers on the content of a bill from a maximum of 7 days to a maximum of 14 days. This is where a bill is brought from one house to the other house. The two speakers cannot agree, and therefore we have to have a resolution mechanism in which either the sponsor or a person appointed by the two speakers actually reconciles the position.
I propose the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. There is a proposed amendment by Honorable Ojiambo Oundo to amend subclause 1B, but the consequence of carrying the chair's amendment is that this one falls automatically. So I will put the global question that clause 11 is amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 12.
I propose the question that clause 12 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I beg to move that clause 12 be amended as shown on the order paper. The justification we have is as follows. We have to align subclause 2 with the provision of Article 114 of the Constitution. Number 2, we have to amend the reference to co-sponsorship of a bill by members of different houses to a process where a member or a committee of the other house adopts a bill. What we are doing here, in essence, is that two members of separate houses cannot co-sponsor a bill. Once it comes from one house to the other, then the person to move it is going to adopt it and not co-sponsor.
I therefore propose the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 12 is amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I propose the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I beg to move that clause 13 be amended as shown on the order paper. And the justification is simple: to amend the reference to co-sponsorship of a bill by members of different houses to a process where a member adopts the bill.
I therefore propose the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 13 is amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 14.
I propose the question that clause 14 be part of the bill. Mover. We'll start with the amendment by Honorable Ojambo Oundo.
Thank you, Chair. I propose that clause 14 be amended as indicated in the order paper. And Honorable Chair, the import of the amendment, and I want us to listen carefully, is sub clause 2, where as it is in the parent bill, sub clause 2 does not provide any timing as to when either the Speaker of either houses can appoint the members of the mediation committee, because it's left open-ended. And proposing, therefore, that to make it neater and move the process progress as soon as possible, that after a communication is made, the Speaker will have within 4 sitting days, or when recess, within 7 calendar days, immediately after the words mediation committee. And this essentially is to put some timelines so that we do not leave the matter in abeyance inordinately too long. That's the import of the amendment. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
I propose the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by Honorable Ojambo Oundo. Chair Jailak.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I have actually looked at the proposed amendment. I have consulted with Honorable Chepkonga, who is the mover or the sponsor of the bill, and we of the view that it enhances, it makes it better by incorporating that proposal, and we therefore concede to the proposed amendment.
Honorable Chepkonga or Honorable Murugara has spoken for you?
No, he has spoken.
Okay. I will therefore propose the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by Honorable Ojambo Oundo. I now put the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by Honorable Ojambo. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover for the second amendment on clause 14, yes. Chair.
The amendment, I beg to move that clause 14 be amended as shown on the order paper, and the justification is that we have to allow the chairperson, the vice chairperson, or a member of a mediation committee to table the report of the committee to the House.
I therefore propose the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 14 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 15.
I propose the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I beg to move that clause 15 of the bill be amended as shown on the order paper, and the rationale is simple: to correct a typographical error, and 2, to set the quorum of a joint committee to at least 2/3 of all members of the committee.
I therefore propose the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. I now put the question, the ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 15 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 16.
I propose the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 16 of the bill be amended as shown on the order paper. The rationale is to require committees of the two houses to hold a joint sitting to obtain the permission of both the speakers. That is, they don't do it on their own motion. Number two, to set the quorum requirement and modalities of conducting a vote in a joint sitting of committees, where we are saying each house will have to vote separately so that we do not have the house with a majority number of members carrying the day to a grievance of the house with the lesser members.
I therefore propose the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 16 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clauses 17 and 18.
No amendments. I propose the question that clauses 17 and 18 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 17 and 18 be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 19.
I propose the question that clause 19 be part of the bill. Mover. Honorable Ojiambo Oundo.
Thank you, Chair. Clause 19, I propose an amendment. I move that the clause be amended as indicated on the order paper, and the import here is to add an additional document to be supplied by the committee referring the matter to the House, referring the matter to the other House, so that we deal with the issue of public participation, and we are saying under memorandum on the extent to which the relevant committee had incorporated the views of the public in the bill. And Chair, this is a consequential amendment because there is a clause already in the bill that requires that where joint public participation has been done, the other House can dispense of public participation to avoid duplication. So we are saying to make it more cleaner and to assuage everybody, let's just add a memorandum indicating, yes, we received these views, this is what we incorporated, we left out X, Y, Z in order so that we comply with the Constitution. That's all that we are proposing.
I therefore propose the question that clause 19 be amended as proposed by Honorable Ojiambo Oundo. Honorable Chepkonga.
Chair, we totally reject that particular proposal. You know, the import of that proposal is that every memorandum from the members of the public must be included. That is not, you know, we are seeking views of the public. The memorandum cannot be part of the law. It's just assistance in making law. But you cannot say that that has to be considered. That you are forcing the House to consider a memorandum. If we don't do it, it means that it becomes a point of contention in court. You are tying the hands of the members of parliament. Honorable Oundo, where have you ever had that one? You cannot force members of parliament to do something. You know, Article 94 of the Constitution is very clear. The mandate of the members of parliament is to legislate. In our legislative mandate, you cannot therefore delegate it to somebody else. And so that's why we are saying, Madam Chair, we reject this particular amendment. We have accepted the other amendments, they are good. But on this one, Madam Chair, this is a very bad amendment. It is not helping this House, neither will it advance the relations between the two houses.
I don't want you responding, Honorable Oundo. Let me give the Chair Jailak, then I'll give you, because you're the mover of the amendment. I'll give you a minute. Chair Jailak.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chair. We reject this proposal on the basis that what is being recommended is that we have to include what the public says in a law that Parliament is proposing. The constitutional provision is that we have to consider participation of the public, but we are under no obligation whatsoever to include whatever they say in the law we are passing. Therefore, this does go over what is provided, and therefore we need to reject it.
Honorable Oundo.
Chair, whatever fate befalls that particular amendment, Let me just clarify. All that we are asking for is for seamless transfer of information from one house to another, because there is already a requirement in the bill that says where public participation has been done, the other house can adopt what has been done without necessarily going to do another public participation. So I'm not asking that they present the various memoranda that are presented by the members of public. All I'm saying is just a report confirming this. We received public views from the following groups. This is what we received. It's a very simple statement. That's what's just a memorandum. It's as simple as that. I'm not saying that we will transmit the written memorandum from the members of public. In any case, Honorable Chair, the provision of the Constitution about public participation is not cosmetic. It's not a dress. It's not it's not a fuss. It was meant to guide legislative process because of member of parliament act on behalf of the electorate. They don't act on their own behalf. So whatever fate befalls this amendment is just enhancing.
You have made your point, Honorable Undo. Member for Tigania East. Oh, Tigania West, sorry.
Hello. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I just want to comment on this issue. Yes, indeed, it is possible to get a report from the other side of public participation conducted. As at now, and I know probably in the near future, we shall have a law on public participation prescribing exactly how public participation is supposed to be taking place. But supposing the other side decides to say this is the report, however we left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, shall we have an end to that process? Let us just leave the amendment as it is.
Honorable members, I will propose the question that clause 19 be amended as proposed by Honorable Jambo Undo. I now put the question that clause 19 be amended as proposed by Honorable Jambo Undo. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. Nay. The nays have it. I now put the question. No. Yeah. I now put the question that clause 19 be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 20.
I propose the question that clause 20 be part of the bill. Leader of majority.
On behalf of the leader of majority.
To be done by Honorable Chepkonga.
Yes, correct. I have instructions to do so, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I move that the clause 20 be amended as contained in the order paper. The import of this, Madam Chair, is that since we have agreed on alternative dispute resolution, there is no one house which will decide to court on their own motion. First, they must exhaust the procedures that are provided in this particular bill. One, we must undertake mediation, reconciliation, or arbitration. And if you go to court without following this procedure, then you should be held personally responsible for the cost that will be incurred by whichever house to defend that particular petition that you have placed before the court. So we are saying that we should prevent people from rushing to court without exhausting the internal mechanisms that are contained in the law that we have just passed. And so I therefore move that clause 20 be amended as contained in the order paper. I thank you.
I therefore propose the question that clause 20 be amended as proposed by the majority leader.
Chair.
Honorable Undo.
Chair, and I want Honorable Chepkonga and Honorable Mrugara to listen very carefully. I want Honorable Mrugara and Honorable Chepkonga to listen very carefully, Chair. We must never legislate in vain. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, the Bill of Rights allows access to the court of law, and there should be no impediments to access to the courts of law. Any action or any bill that purports to limit access to courts of law is essentially unconstitutional. I can understand where the majority leader is coming from to avoid frivolous applications to the courts and to avoid a situation where we waste time. But legislating any means to gag access to a courts of law is unconstitutional and we have fought for free access to the courts of law for many, many years. Please, you, the two of you are eminent lawyers, you must seriously look at this particular amendment to avoid a situation that obviously it makes a mockery of a legislative making process. Honestly speaking, review this. This is a gagging members of wherever is unprofessional. In any case, Honorable Speaker, the process of legislation does not always mean you end up being successful. Honestly speaking, how? How?
Honorable members, kindly use your cards on intervention. Honorable Chepkonga. Honorable Chepkonga.
You know, Chair, I sympathize with my very good friend, Professor Undo. You know, there's a plethora of cases which have decided that if there is an internal resolution mechanism, you first go there. Even if you went to court today, they will tell you go back. If there's an operation, if there is an arbitration clause, it is something that is known. What we have just done is that we have made it clear that you don't need to go to court, exhaust first the internal mechanisms of resolving the disputes between the houses. In fact, it is good for you so that we don't need to wash our dirty linen outside these courts, outside the houses. Why do you want someone else to decide?
You have made your point, Honorable Chepkonga.
Yeah.
You have made your point. Honorable Member for Ndiwa.
Chepkonga, we want this to be good, but this is very dangerous. For example, if court is satisfied, where are the mechanism that will tell us between these two houses? And sometimes, Chair, these are driven by interest, and the delays can also be there. So we are talking of a mechanism which is not even there to be dependent upon. This is dangerous. Please drop this. It will not help us as a house.
Order, members. I will propose the question that clause 20. That clause 20 be amended as proposed by the majority leader. I now put the question that clause 20 be amended as proposed by the majority leader. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 20 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Schedules, first schedule and second schedule.
I propose the question that the first schedule and the second schedule be part of the bill. I now put the question that the first schedule and the second schedule be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Honorable Martin Owino, you have an amendment?
Yes, Chair, I beg to move that clause 2 of the bill be amended as by inserting the following new definition in proper alphabetical orders as in the paper. Number one, originating house means a house of parliament which a bill is first introduced. And the second house means a house of parliament other than the originating house. The input of this Chair is that the words originating house and the second house has been used prominently in the bill. And what I'm trying to do is that they have to be defined so that they are properly in the bill. That's all.
I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by Honorable Martin Owino. Chair Jailak.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Having listened to the proposed definition of originating house and second house, I have no problem with that simply because the terminology is used in the bill and it has to be defined correctly. So I do agree to that.
I therefore propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by Honorable Martin Owino. I now put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by Honorable Martin Owino. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. Mover? Chair, you have an amendment to the long title?
Yes, I do. Let me get it right. No, the wrong one. The right one is this one. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the long title of the bill be amended as shown on the order paper, and the essence of this is just to insert one missing word.
I therefore propose the question that the title be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that the title be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Osoro, what is out of order?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I intend, or rather have an intention to put, to take clause 14, or rather for a committal, in the right time. Clause 14.
We'll do that
Specifically
later.
clause 14
it is noted.
B.
It is noted, Honorable Osoro, but
Okay.
we'll do it after. We're almost finishing with the committee of the whole. So I will call the mover to move reporting.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Houses of Parliament bicameral relations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 44 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments.
I now put the question, which is that committee do report to the House its consideration of the Houses of Parliament bicameral relations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 44 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, we shall continue with the Committee of the Whole. We'll now be sitting for the Committee of the Whole on the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2023. Of 2024. National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2024.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 2 be amended as contained in the order paper. The import of this amendment, we are seeking that the Cabinet Secretary responsible for regulation-making authority who fails to submit a statutory instrument in accordance with the law will be required by a resolution requiring a resolution of the House, require the Cabinet Secretary to publish a notice in the Gazette that this particular statutory instrument is a nullity, so that no member of the public can rely on a regulation that is a nullity that has never been brought to the House. I thank you.
Correct. I support.
Thank you. I therefore propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. We have a proposed amendment by Honorable Jambo Oundo.
Thank you, Chair. I propose to delete clause 3, and the reason why I'm proposing to delete clause 3, in the original bill, it says the provisions of section 1 shall not apply to any rules, regulations, and orders emanating from a court of competent jurisdiction in Kenya. Chair, deleting that particular clause as was already provided in this bill would have meant typical court orders, practice notes, regulations governing the conduct of court processes would be subjected to Statutory Instrument Act. But Chair, I have also looked at the amendment being moved by the committee, in which event they have said rules and regulations, since they have got common application all over, will be deleted, but we allow court orders to remain as it is. If the committee amendments are going to be carried, I will then drop my amendment, because my apprehension and apprehension of others would have been covered. Because you cannot subject court orders to the process of statutory instrument as required in the Act. Thank you, Chair.
Are you dropping your amendment on record? Because yours is a deletion.
My apprehension is this. If I drop my amendments and then amendments proposed by the committee is lost.
We are already prosecuting your amendment, which is a deletion.
So let's do this, Honorable Speaker. Since the amendments takes precedence of a member's amendment, allow me to approve mine as a precautionary, because I'm not God.
Honorable Oundo, you have been here long enough. Honorable Oundo, you have been here long enough. You either prosecute, you are already prosecuting the deletion.
Let me prosecute.
So allow me to put the question on your amendment.
Yes.
Then whatever happens to yours will determine what happens to the other.
Yes.
So allow me to propose the question. I have not proposed the question, Honorable Nikal. Please hold it a bit. I propose the question that clause 3 be deleted as proposed by Honorable Oundo. And then I'll give a few minutes. Honorable Nikal.
Here is an area where we have an agreement except for procedure. Because sometimes I see that if one amendment will cover, then normally I've seen we start with the committee amendments, and if that committee amendment passes, then the member normally drops their amendment. So, but you see, normally it will be the one that passes that then covers that. But if it drops it and the other one fails, then we are there. So if we could go that procedural way, it would help, so that Oundo would feel safe that now I'm covered, I'm dropping. We have done that many times, Honorable Chepkonga. I don't know why this time we did it the other way around.
Honorable Chepkonga.
Chair, this is a matter that was discussed exhaustively in the committee, and we took council's advice. If we go the route of Honorable Oundo, the civil procedure rules will never be brought to this House. So I would like to request you, just let me move mine will be adopted. So why don't you, because if you are going to delete it, what it means is that the court will
Honorable Chepkonga, you are totally out of order. Don't preempt debate. You can't say members have not taken a vote on your amendment. You've not even prosecuted your amendment.
I was trying to persuade him, but if he refuses to drop it, we are then opposing it, Madam Chair.
We are not dropping at this point. We are already prosecuting it. So allow me to put the question.
So we are opposing it. We are opposing it because, you know, it is
your right to oppose, Honorable Chepkonga. Member for Marakwet West, Honorable Timothy.
Chair, thank you, Chair. Chair, initially I had
associated myself with the amendments by Honorable Undo, but Honorable Chair, looking at the proposed amendments by the committee of Honorable Chepkwanga, Honorable Chair, I support the amendment as proposed by the committee that we retain rules and regulations to be subject to be subjected to the process of statutory instruments, and we delete the word and orders of the court, therefore not to be subject to the scrutiny by this House. So, Honorable Chair, I stand to support the committee, the amendment by the committee.
We are not there yet, Honorable Timothy. You are following Honorable Chepkonga's line. We have not yet prosecuted Honorable Chepkonga's amendment. We are on Honorable Undo's deletion. Yeah? Any other member? If not, I will put the question. I will now put the question that clause 3 be deleted as proposed by Honorable Ojiambo Oundo. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The nays have it. We have a further proposed amendment by the Chair, Delegated Legislation Committee, Honorable Chepkonga.
Yeah, Chair, I propose that clause 3 be amended as contained in the order paper. And the import of this, as clearly set out by my very good friend, Professor Undo, is that we want to remove court orders to be subject to consideration by this House. Courts are independent in their nature. What we are saying, it should only apply to rules and regulations as contained in the order paper. I thank you.
I therefore propose the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Honorable Member for Funyula, you must have a say in this.
Yeah. With my friend Chepkonga. Indeed, I agree with you. And that's why I said, I'm just holding my breath. I'm keeping my fingers closed, that since they know how to vote as in unison, can the Almighty God descend in their hearts and vote in unison so that we maintain the independence of the judiciary, which you have fought since the repeal of Section 2A of the old Constitution. Thank you, Honorable Chair, and I pray hard. My prayers, I hope, will be Minority Whip. Do the way you do it.
Member for Marakwet West.
Chair, I now procedurally support the amendment by Honorable Chepkonga. Honorable Chair, court rules and regulations must be subject to scrutiny by this House so that we'll be able to look at the issue of civil procedure rules. They are subjected to this House. But the only thing that is exempted is the court orders. Honorable Chair, there is no way that this House will be able to look at or scrutinize court orders. So, Honorable Chair, I support the amendment that this House looks critically at rules and regulations that are adopted by the judiciary.
Honorable Sunkuli.
Madam Chair, well, as a member of the Committee of Delegated Legislation, we did look at that clause very carefully, and I think it is a product of our scrutiny that produced it. That although the courts make rules that are subject to the Delegated Legislation Committee's approval, there are other things that we cannot look at, and that is the court orders themselves. The judiciary is independent, but the rules they make which will affect the public, other than their judgments, should be subject to scrutiny. So we support.
Honorable Nyikao.
I support this because it supports the rule of law. So support.
Okay. Therefore, honorable members, I propose the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I now put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 3 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. There is a proposed amendment by the chair.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I propose that, I move that clause 3 be, clause 4 be deleted. The import of this, Madam Chair, is that if you want to bring all emergency regulations to the House, I mean, it is not possible. Like, for instance, the COVID rules. You know, you don't bring the COVID rules when there's an emergency. It has to be approved by the committee. And the committee is well curated. It has 21 members, and that should not be a problem. So we are proposing, we considered this in the committee, and we agreed that this be deleted. And so I therefore move.
I therefore propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 4 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 5, 6, 7, and 8.
No amendments. I propose the question that clauses 5, 6, 7, and 8 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 5, 6, 7, and 8 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Mover.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I move that clause 9 be amended as contained in the order paper. The import of this proposed amendment is to cure the effect or the impact of Section 21, which provided that regulations shall lapse after 10 years, and that those regulations must be reviewed and brought to the committee. As you know, Madam Speaker, we have almost 1,900 regulations that are lapsing as a consequence of lapse, what we call lapse of time. You know, we have said the regulations must not lapse as a consequence of time. It must lapse because there is an event which has taken place, and that event which includes amendment of the Parent Act. If the Parent Act has not been amended, why should they lapse? They should continue to operate. So that is the gist of that particular amendment. I thank you.
Honorable Undo, hold a moment. I propose the question. So I propose the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Undo.
Chair, that's a progressive amendment, and indeed, that's how we should always go to avoid wastage of resources, duplication, and a cumbersome process. But we must also pass a warning to regulatory making authorities that some regulations could actually be outdated by now. Some made in the 60s, 70s could be updated now. They should not use this amendment to continue with outdated and draconian regulations. They should be progressively review them to align to the current situation, to the Constitution, and the ever-changing environment in this country. So I want to call upon the Committee of Delegated Legislation to, again, as we had started during the last term, to progress, and we are with you, Vice Chair, and we need to progressively relook at all these regulations and see that which requires to be redone, which can remain for the time being, knowing the constraint of resources. I support the amendment.
Thank you. Member for Marakwet West.
Chair, I rise to support the amendment by the committee. Chair, the sunset clause on the lapse of these instruments was very dangerous for this country. And Chair, I thank the committee for coming up to save the country, because this could have caused monumental legal challenges in terms of the legal landscape. And Chair, I rise to support this amendment.
Use your card. Honorable Jared, use your card. You're seated in the wrong seat. But anyway, I'll give you the floor. Take 1 minute.
I thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I'm a member of the Delegated Legislation Committee, and I'm in agreement with the proposal because the Statutory Instruments Act, Section 13, gives the committee powers to summon any government agency whose regulations have become obsolete, either by dint of time or relevance. And therefore, this really cures that kind of concern that they don't have to lapse after 10 years. I thank you.
Honorable Undo, I want to confirm that Honorable Jared may be considering moving, but I'm not sure he can confirm. I'll give you a minute. What is out of order?
Chair, I'm flabbergasted, I'm apprehensive, I'm worried that our good member has crossed the floor without having folded the party that, and that member is none other than the good member of the people of Nyando. Will you kindly please come where you belong? You look so uncomfortable the other end, everybody's worried. Can you come back to where you feel more comfortable?
Member for Nyando. I'm giving you a right of reply.
Chair, I have been adversely mentioned by Honorable Undo, who brings unnecessary imbroglio into this matter. I am seated next to my committee chair, and these amendments have originated from our committee, and I'm assisting him to push these amendments to the very end. I belong to ODM party, I belong to Azimio, now and forever. I thank you.
That is well noted, honorable members. I will now propose a question that clause 9 be amended as proposed by Honorable Chepkonga, the chair of Delegated Legislation Committee. I now put the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 9 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
No amendment. I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Order, members. We have come to the end of the Committee of the Whole for the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2024. I will call the mover to move reporting. Honorable Wako, on behalf of the Majority Leader.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Statutory Instrument Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2024, and its approval of thereof with amendments.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, as per the order paper, we were to proceed to the Committee of the Whole for the National Government Coordination Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 25 of 2023 sponsored by Honorable Malulu Injendi, but I have so far received a request from the mover. So I'll give you a minute, Honorable Malulu Injendi. I have received a request to step it down, which I have assented to. But Malulu, Honorable Malulu, take a minute, explain. Give Malulu the mic.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm requesting that we step down this bill because there are some amendments that came in as letters yesterday evening. So this is to allow, to give room for further consultation on the same bill, particularly by the Committee on Administration and Internal Security. And because I'm stepping down as a result of the amendments coming from the committee, I request the chair to second.
Honorable Undo.
Chair, yes, I was an interested party, and the chair of the committee has intimated to us that there's a comprehensive bill coming because the issue of village elders, the issue of organizing our leadership on the ground has remained unresolved for far too long. There is a time we put it in right, correct. But Honorable Chair, it's just a matter of procedure and a matter of courtesy. A matter of procedure and a matter of courtesy. Honorable Malulu Injendi progressed this bill to this extent with the support and approval of the committee. It would have been far much better out of courtesy and respect for people of Malava constituency to have been told early enough that this one's dead on arrival. It's dead like a dodo. Instead of, honestly speaking, carrying it all this end, appearing here. And the import, Honorable Chair, and I need to be corrected, is that now his bill, if he drops it at this moment, it is dead. It can never be reinserted until after 6 months or the next session. That's the import. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was uninterested. I dropped my amendments because he has already withdrawn the bill.
Honorable Undo, just to guide the House, when a member requests on the floor to step down, the House Business Committee, because the Speaker has assented to, the House Business Committee will decide on the rescheduling. It's not dead. We'll decide on the rescheduling. Honorable Tongoyo.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And first, I want to appreciate that actually you corrected what was earlier alluded by the member. Because the bill is not dead. It has just been, of course, stepped down. And I want to agree with what has been said by the sponsor of the bill, that after consultation, we agreed that we step it so that we give room for more consensus and deliberation. Because, Honorable Chair, it's true, we have already a bill on National Government Coordination Bill, which is a committee bill, which is before the committee at pre-publication stage. And we are trying to see so that we can be able to see how we can accommodate all the interest. And with that effect, I want to second Mheshimiwa Malulu, so that we give room for more consultation and deliberation. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, that is enough for that bill. It will be rescheduled appropriately. The next on the order paper was to be the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly number 73 of 2023 by the Leader of Majority. Again, the Leader of Majority has requested the Speaker to step it down, and it has been assented to, so that will also not be prosecuted now. It will be prosecuted later. So, honorable members, we will now move to reporting because we have come to the end of the Committee of the Whole.
Chairperson, Honorable Chepkonga, you can report. Oh, yes, sorry. Honorable Wangari.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2024, and approved the same with amendments.
Mover of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on this consideration of the Statutory Instrument Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2024. I also request that Honorable Faith Gitau to second.
I second.
Honorable members, I propose the question that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2024. Okay. Honorable members, I now put the question that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Statutory Instruments Amendments Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2024. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, we shall defer the putting of the question, and we can move to the next bill, the reporting of the next bill. The Houses of Parliament Bicameral Relations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 44 of 2023.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Houses of Parliament Bicameral Relations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 44 of 2023, and approved the same with amendments.
Mover of the bill, Honorable Chepkonga.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also would like to request the Member of Parliament for Kirinyaga constituency to second.
Honorable Speaker, I hereby second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable Osoro, you have a point of order?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker had given notice for a committal that the motion for agreement to the report of the Committee of the Whole House be amended by inserting the following words, Honorable Speaker, subject to recommittal of clause 14, Honorable Speaker.
Do you have a seconder?
Thank you. I move and ask Honorable Chepkonga to second.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I propose that the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House be amended by inserting the following words, subject to recommittal of clause 14. Members wishing to contribute on this, press the intervention button. There is none. Okay, we shall defer the putting of the question to the next sitting. Next order.
Order number 11, the Land Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 65 of 2023, second reading.
Majority Leader is not here. Okay, we move to the next order then.
Order number 12, motion, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Kenya Slum Upgrading Low-Cost Housing and Infrastructure Trust Fund.
Chairperson Honorable Fatuma, Chairperson for Special Funds Accounts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move to this House adopt the audited financial statement of Kenya Slum Upgrading Low-Cost Housing and Infrastructure Trust Fund and for the financial year 2017, 2018, 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020, 2020, 2021 to 2021, 2022. 2, Alcoholic Drink Control Fund for the financial year 2017 to 2018. Honorable Speaker, the committee received oral and written submission from the following accounting officers. Mr. Charles Singer, Principal Secretary, State Department for Housing and Urban Development, and Professor John Muteti, Chief Executive Officer, National Campaign Against Drug Abuse Authority. Honorable Speaker, in considering the report, the oral and written submission received form the basis of the observation. Findings and recommendations of the committee as outlined in this report under each of the audited queries. These are also contained in the minutes and the answered reports of committee proceedings. Honorable Speaker, during the examination of the audited reports, the committee noted that the following general observations, which appear frequently within the two funds and in the various financial years. The committee observed that one of the audit queries arose because of the failure by the accounting officers to comply with the format prescribed by the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. In the presentation of the financial statement, which led to inaccuracies or unexplained or unreconciled variances. The committee recommends that the accounting officers ensure that all applicable accounting and financial control system standards, laws, and procedures are followed in the preparation of the financial statement in the compliance with the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and in accordance with the standard prescribed by the Public Sector Accounting Standard Board as per the regulations 101/4, the Public Finance Management Regulation 2012. We also observed that there was late submission of documents. The committee observed that most of the audit queries raised by the Auditor General have emanated from failure by accounting officers to submit necessary documentation or explanations required during the audit process as provided in Section 31 of the Public Audit Act 2015. The committee recommends that the accounting officers ensure timely submission of accounting documentations required for audit verification during the audit as per the provision of the section of 31(4) of the Public Audit Act 2015. Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that the accuracy of the cash and cash equivalent in the financial reports of the funds could not be confirmed on accounts of bank receipts not recorded in the cash book. The accounting officers attributed the same to the failure by beneficiaries to submit banking slips to facilitate the reconciliation of the receipts. They submitted that the bank statement did not have the details of the beneficiaries, such as beneficiary's name, national identification number, and house number. The absence of the bank slip made it difficult to post the receipts in the cash book due to lack of the said details. Honorable Speaker, the accounting officers the committee recommends that the accounting officers engage the banks to develop a payment system that captured depositors' details, including the national identification number and the house number of the beneficiary, to ensure complete identification and reconciliation receipts. Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that Kenya Slums Upgrading Low-Cost Housing and Infrastructure Trust Fund had pending bills of 172,547,235 in the year 2021-2022 financial year, despite the fund having a balance of 518,262,835. Consequently, the fund risks incurring significant unqualified interest cost penalties due to delay in settling invoiced bills. In addition, failure to settle the bills during the year in which they relate adversely affects the provision of the subsequent year to which they must be settled as first charge. Honorable Speaker, during the examination of the audited reports, the committee noted the following general observation, which appear frequently with the two funds and in the various financial years. The committee observed that some of the audit queries arose because of the failure by the accounting officers to comply with the public sector accounting standards and presentation of the financial statement, which led to inaccuracies or unexplained and unreconciled variances. Honorable Speaker, while examining the considering the report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of the Alcoholic Drinks Control Fund for the year 2017-2018 financial year, the committee observed that the fund invested the treasury bill as follows. On 22nd May 2017, the fund invested in 91 days treasury bill with a face value of 500 million, which matured on the 23rd August 2017. The second investment was done on the 22nd January 2018 with a face value of 200 million, which matured on the 23rd April 2018, and the interest rate was 8.65%. Honorable Speaker, the committee also observed that the funds from the investment of the treasury bills totaling to 700 million was deposited in the bank account at the Cooperative Bank, Ukulima Branch, Nairobi. Further, the accounting officer did not provide breakdown or any documentary evidence for the audit verification to support the expenditure of 700 million received from the investment of treasury bills. The accounting officer did not provide any document evidence indicating how the amount 700 million received from the investment of treasury bills and the interest earned was expended, considering that licensing of alcohol outlets was undertaken by counties as from 1st July 2018. The committee recommends that within 3 months of the adoption of this report, the Auditor General to conduct a special audit of 700 million received from the investment in treasury bills and the interest earned, and submit its finding to the National Assembly for further examination. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will request, can I go on and move? Honorable Speaker, I will request Honorable Christine Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I would request Honorable Christine Ombaka, who is also a committed member of our committee, to second. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker of the House. Today, I want to second this, because what we have noticed in the audit committee is that there's frequent lack of documentation that is required for auditing, and that causes a lot of delay. And the delay also is so overwhelming in the sense that sometimes it takes 2-3 years to audit a firm, and complications do come because sometimes even the accounting officer is not available because maybe he has retired. So some of the challenges that we are seeing emerging is that auditing is a good thing to do all the time, but it must be done at a relevant time. If it's too late, if it delays for too long, then you lose out on certain people who may answer certain questions that auditors require. But what is important all the time that we notice is that documentation is always missing, or they are not up to date, or they're late. Otherwise, I support and second the report. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. I propose that this House adopts the 7th report of the Special Funds Account Committee on its consideration of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Land Settlements Fund for the financial years 2020-2021 and 2021-2022, and the Railway Development Fund holding account for the financial years 2017-2018, 2018-2019, 2019-2020, 2020-2021, and 2021-2022, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 7th December 2023. Honorable Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to add my voice into this important discussion. And I want to start from the onset by thanking the chair of this committee, the Special Funds Accounts Committee, and our membership for this important report, which has just been presented, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, listening to the chair and the issue she's raising, and having listened to the chair Park about 2 weeks ago, Honorable Speaker, this report gives a very, very bad picture of what is happening. Honorable Speaker, you know, when Park was...
Honorable Makali, please hold on. Take your seat for a moment. I think we have had some confusion because what was moved by Honorable Fatuma was the Kenya slum upgrading. Is that correct? So allow me to propose the right question because I proposed the other one. Yes, let me propose the motion that this House adopts the report of the Special Funds Account Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Kenya Slum Upgrading, Low-Cost Housing and Infrastructure Trust Fund for the financial year 2017-2018 to 2021-2022, and the Alcoholic Drinks Control Fund for the financial years 2017-2018, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 18th October 2023. Is that the one you are contributing to, Honorable Makali Mulu? Okay, continue.
Actually, that's motion number 12, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah.
So, Honorable Speaker, as I was saying, having listened to the chair and also having listened to the chair Park last 2 weeks, you realize that, Honorable Speaker, a lot of the findings are the same, lots of similarities. And what worries me most, Honorable Speaker, is that the PAC report looks at the ministries, and this report we are looking at today is focusing more on the parastatals. So in a situation where I see similarity in terms of recommendation, both at the parastatal level and at the main ministries level, it gives a very worrying situation, Honorable Speaker. And one of the things which we have always talked about and which is worrying is the issue of either lack of financial statements or delayed provision of financial statements. And you ask yourself, Honorable Speaker, and myself, in these organizations and institutions, we have hired qualified accountants, and most of them are actually CPA-K. They are the people you see before you write their name, they write CPA so-and-so, CPA so-and-so, implying they have done up to the highest level the accounting issues of this country. And then you wonder, what is it that they cannot provide financial statements in time? Unless, Honorable Speaker, it is a deliberate move to just sabotage the whole process. I see a situation where this is being done deliberately over time to make sure that those who are accountable for these issues retire or leave office before the reports find themselves into Parliament, where they can be questioned. And, Honorable Speaker, it makes it very difficult for our committees of Parliament to start asking hard questions to officers who are now sitting in those offices who were not there when these bad things were being done. So it causes a lot of confusion. And I think as a House, Honorable Speaker, we must come up with a way or a strategy on how to handle this matter. Otherwise, this House will continue being a talking house with no action, and at the end of the day, Kenyans will never get value for their money. Look at the issue of pending bills, Honorable Speaker. You hear, this is a parastatal. They would normally get a one-line budget item, a line, where you give them lump sum, and then they'll budget for their issues at that level. But what happens? You give them that budget, they know very well they are pending bills, they don't pay, they implement other activities, and every year in, year out, we continue reporting on pending bills. I think this is very unfair, and more so when we are using public resources, Honorable Speaker. The Constitution is very clear that when it comes to the use of public resources, we must do it in a prudent manner so that Kenyans, wherever they are, they get value for money. What is happening in these pending bills, Honorable Speaker? We are killing our local business people. They have supplied goods and services. They are never paid in time. So what happens? Their businesses are collapsing because they have taken bank loans. They are not being paid. The bank is charging interest. Over time, these small businesses collapse. And then we are talking about economic growth. How do you grow an economy where you are not paying people who are supplying you goods and services, Honorable Speaker? Another thing which has been reported, and is very pathetic, is actually a worrying situation, Honorable Speaker. Look at what this CEO does. The CEO takes parastatal money or institutions' money, procures treasury bills, Honorable Speaker. Those treasury bills are redeemed, and as a result of that, 700 million is actually given to the institution as a result of that investment. And then look at what happens. The CEO cannot account for that money. When he is requested to account for the money, there are delays in accounting for the money. And you know, these are the issues we have been talking about, Honorable Speaker, that the government gives money to a parastatal. Government money is used to buy treasury bills. Government money earns interest for that institution. And then at the end of the day, the CEO cannot account for that money. So who is losing? The government loses. And that's why, Honorable Speaker, we have always said, it is time this country went seriously for a single treasury account. So that in that case, government will never use the government money to buy treasury bills. Instead of borrowing that money, the government, you can use that money to implement their programs and projects. And in that case, then we'll be helping this country, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, anytime we sit here and listen to these reports from our oversight committees, like PAC, like this one, which is now the special committee on special funds, Honorable Speaker, you start wondering really, for how long
will this story continue? The story of lack of accounting documents, lack of financial statements, delayed financial statements, failure to pay pending bills, use of misdirection of public resources. And I think really if we want to encourage these committees and make them do their work seriously, then we must come up with a mechanism so that when these reports are actually, Honorable Speaker, are tabled and debated, we see our implementation committee immediately taking over these issues and running with them. We want to see people, accounting officers who are not able to account for money, Honorable Speaker. We want to see them in court. We want to see them being jailed so that at the end of the day, they will know that public money should be used in a prudent manner for the benefit of Kenyans and taxpayers, and not for the benefit of few Kenyans who want to pocket this money for the benefit of their families. And if we go that direction, Honorable Speaker, then this house will be seen to have teeth to bite. Otherwise, we will continue talking, and at the end of the day, we will never change this country. It will be a country where people see public resources as resources for misdirection, resources for misappropriation, and resources to be stolen. And I don't think that's the Kenya we want, Honorable Speaker. With those many remarks, I want once more, Honorable Speaker, to thank the chair of the committee and the membership for this good effort. But now we must make sure that your recommendations, Chair, and your team are implemented. And I think you need to be on the neck of the chair of the implementation committee so that these recommendations are implemented. I support, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Member for Kirinyaga.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to support the committee findings, and in specific, I want to narrow down to the Alcoholic Drinks Control Fund for the financial year 2017-2018. Honorable Speaker, it is quite unfortunate, and my county is one of the most affected counties by alcohol and sale of profluted alcohol. Honorable Speaker, it is very important for us to ensure that this fund is also invested for rehabilitation of persons who are affected by alcohol. It goes without saying that health is now a devolved unit, but the county governments are not able to shoulder this issue of rehabilitation alone. The national government must ensure that this fund, the investment of these funds, and I can see that the committee has reported that 700 million was invested in treasury bills, but there is no proper record of the breakdown of where the accrued benefits went to or were applied to. So it is therefore important we ensure that this fund is applied to ensure we have rehabilitation centers in all our 47 counties, because we must cater for the issues that plague us as at now. And I want to commend the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, for his very spirited fight against illicit brews and second-generation alcohol. But as we fight to ensure we save the next generation, what about those who have already been lost to abuse of alcohol in this nation, Honorable Speaker? We must ensure that we also salvage them and try to mitigate the effects of the long-term usage of alcohol. I therefore support this, and I urge the committee to ensure that this report does not die here on the floor of the August House. Let us have an accountability perspective of where the 700 million and the profits from the same were applied to, and they must be plowed back as CSR to communities that are affected by alcohol in this country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Marakwet West, Honorable Timothy.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to contribute on this very important report of the Auditor General. Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank the chair of the committee, my friend Honorable Amina Mohammed, for the good work that she has done as the chair of the committee. Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, the issue to do with alcoholic drinks in this country, initially it was under the national government. The famous Mutuda law was passed in the year 2010. Honorable Speaker, at that particular time, the National Campaign Against Drug Abuse Authority was under the national government. But pursuant to the promulgation of the new constitution 2010, that particular function was transferred to the county governments because health became a fully devolved function, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, now what is happening in the county governments is that each county government, because that function is devolved, has passed a legislation to suit a particular county. And Honorable Speaker, the challenge now is that we have 47 different legislations regulating the use of alcoholic drinks in this country. Honorable Speaker, it is something that we need to rethink as a country because it even becomes a challenge in terms of audit by the Committee on Special Funds because it questions or it brings issues in terms of jurisdiction, whether a committee of this House can be able to check the excesses in terms of the legislations of the county government and can be able to audit a function that is devolved. And it becomes a big challenge. Honorable Speaker, in various counties are raising funds pursuant to the legislation they passed. They have formed committees on alcoholic drinks at the county level. But Chair, we need to relook because can this committee of this House of Special Funds be able to relook at whether the funds raised by the county governments meet the needs of the people in those counties? Honorable Speaker, because I have a challenge. If you look at this report, this Special Funds Committee, unless I'm advised, is not able to ascertain, to audit the funds that are channeled through the county government. Because what's happening now is that the county governments have formed committees, committees and subcommittees to issue licenses, to regulate the issue of alcoholic drinks in the counties. Honorable Speaker, now the question of devolution and the question of the function of the county governments in auditing these funds comes into question. Honorable Speaker, we need to look at a way so that the funds raised by the county governments through licensing can be able to rehabilitate those people who are using alcohol and to their detriment has affected them in one way or the other. So, Honorable Speaker, I support this report, but as a country, we need to relook at the legal framework. We need to relook at the architecture of devolving health, because the biggest challenge is we have devolved the county government, they are raising funds, but are those funds meeting the required needs, and are those funds used properly in terms of even establishing rehabilitation centers at the county level? So, Honorable Speaker, I support the report, but majorly, I still reiterate that the issue to do with alcoholic drinks and the issue to do with National Campaign Against Drug Abuse Authority should be returned to the national government so that we have one autonomous body regulating the use of alcoholic drinks in this country. Honorable Speaker, it is apparently clear on the face of record that county governments have been unable. That is why you see the fight against alcoholic drinks in this country by the national government, because it is apparently clear on the face of record that the county governments have not been able to properly regulate, to license alcoholic drinks at the county level. Honorable Speaker, this function, in my own opinion, should be taken back to the national government. Let us have one autonomous authority regulating the issuance of licenses, regulating the issuance of registration of bars in this country and other drinking joints. Honorable Speaker, it is clear that the national government, the county government has failed on this mandate and this function, particularly on the National Campaign Against Drug Abuse. That authority, which was taken to the county government or which lapsed because of devolution, should be taken back to the national government so that the national government becomes autonomous in terms of regulating alcoholic drinks in this country. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this report.
Very well. Member for Narok North, Honorable Agnes Pareyo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the report on the special funds. And as the other members have said, it is interesting to see that when you go back to our constituencies, most of our youth are finished. And they are in between the county government and the national government. This is because the county governments issue the licenses, and then as a result, you find that most of our youth are now involved in the drinking of the illicit brews, and these youth will end up dying, and we shall not have a generation that will come back and inherit this land if we don't take care of it. So I'm saying I support the report, and I also want the involvement to be either in the national government or totally go to the county governments. Because when we go fighting these illicit brews, the community says the government issues the licenses, but they don't care what happens to the people after they have issued their licenses. So for me, I support the report, and these special funds must be seen to go back to the people so that we can also have rehabilitation centers where we can take our children or our women, because we find that even women are now involved in the drinking. So for me, I support the report. Thank you.
Thank you. Member for Nyamira, Honorable Jerusha.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity so that I can also support this report. Indeed, as my fellow colleagues have said, when we go down to our constituencies, most of our young generation have totally been destroyed simply because the alcoholic drinks, which are now rampant all over, do not have a central place where even those people who are able to identify, those people who are giving out the illicit brew, there is no central place where the reports go, because the county governments, they have on one hand, they are controlling, and the national government on the other hand. So when we say that health is devolved and some issues are not properly outlined on how they should be dealt with, then we put our communities in a very awkward situation. That is why these days, if you look at what is happening, the way our young generation is indulging in alcoholism, it signifies that we as a country are not able to control and even to know how our youths are faring on. So I want to support this report, and I also want to urge this assembly of ours to make sure that we have a regulation which is going to cut across, so that it is cautioning every county on what they are supposed to do specifically to those people who give out illicit brew, those people who give out licenses to even people who are not supposed to be licensed. So, Madam Speaker, I support and I urge the committee to make sure that the report has been implemented so that we help our generation. The new generations which are coming, if we are not careful, we shall not have a country. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. I see there is no more interest on this specific motion. Honorable Dick Maungu, you definitely had not put your interest. I'll give you a few minutes, then we'll go to
Madam Speaker, as the former speakers have actually rightly noted, that alcoholism has been a subject of great concern to us as a country, and more so to the young generation, because we are losing a whole generation, Madam Speaker. And therefore, looking at these reports, and the way the report is geared towards ensuring that these special funds are protected, Madam Speaker, we have a concern at how the county governments have, for example, been able to watch over and even issue licenses to ensure that this kind of habit is controlled, Madam Speaker. Of great concern has been the haphazard way in which licenses have been issued in this country. And most of, Madam Speaker, we find that we have had illegal business taking place in this country, which is purported to have been licensed by the county governments, yet it is not, Madam Speaker. And therefore, the report on the report table before the House, to me, I want to agree with it and agree that we need to put sanity in how these funds are monitored. We need to put sanity in how we control even the licensing of this business, Madam Speaker. Recently, we had a great calamity in Kirinyaga when licenses were purported to have been issued by the county government. Crazy businessmen and women ended up importing or distributing illicit drinks which were licensed, in quote, but were poisonous substances, Madam Speaker. In Luanda, where I come from, Madam Speaker, I come from a constituency that is not so far from the border of Kenya and Uganda. And this border has been quite porous because we find that illicit drinks and substances have always been sneaked into the country through the Ugandan border to Kenya. And these things have found themselves in one or the other in my constituency, Madam Speaker. As a result, we have lost a big number of young people who end up being intoxicated by poisonous substances disguised as alcoholic drinks, Madam Speaker. And therefore, the report by the devolved committee that we need to relook at how these licenses are issued, Madam Speaker, is an issue that I support and I stand to support. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
For Makueni, Honorable Susan Kiamba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also wish to support this report, but I have quite some concern, Honorable Speaker. You realize that, like, when we look at the slum upgrading program, that we have actually put a lot of resources, and we've been trying to change the face of Kenya by upgrading houses. But you realize that we put a lot of input, but it's difficult to really touch and show what change are we bringing. Even it's very difficult to understand the lessons we are drawing from this slum upgrading. I see now we have moved to affordable housing. When we have the issues of slum upgrading, which we cannot tell clearly what changes we have actually brought to this country. So, Honorable Speaker, as we move forward, I'm of the opinion that let's not have a house that is actually a conveyor belt of people just having reports minted, but does not deliver meaning to our citizens. So though I support this particular report, I think we need to be more critical, looking at where our money goes. And that's why you even find today, Kenyans are very cold feet when it comes to affordable housing, because we put very nice names on what change we are going to see in this country. But the end result is just auditor reports that say much of figures, but the change we desire on ground cannot actually be seen. So I support this particular report, but I am of the opinion that let this House critically look at these reports. And actually, when you get reports many years after, you even wonder, what are we really auditing? If years pass by and you get a report that looks more of an historical issue than an intention to change this country. Honorable Speaker, I think this is an area where we need to change. And with these few contributions, I support. Thank you.
Honorable Marianne Keitany.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to support this report. When we look at alcoholism in our country today, Madam Speaker, you realize that a lot of the barriers or blocks that had been put before are all gone. When I was growing up, Madam Speaker, alcohol was only sold to adults, and the only people who could go to a bar or hold a drink, and the community always checked on you, was adults. Us as young people would never touch a bottle of alcohol or take any alcohol at all. But today, the community has changed, and even our young kids, we know kids who are in school, in primary school, in secondary school, and are already engaging in alcohol and substance abuse. And these children live in our community. We watch them. And because our laws have changed, we don't have the communal care and protection that used to be there those days when I was growing up. A lot of this alcohol is from illicit brews. It is from alcohol that has been brewed at homes. In my home village, for example, we have so many illicit brews, and all these illicit brews, if you look at inside those containers, it will have all sorts of dirt, all sorts of dead snakes, dead things that are inside those particular contents or inside those containers. And you wonder, we as adults and young kids are taking those particular alcohols. The law or the county governments are the ones that are licensing bars. And I remember those days when we were young, there was no bar allowed to be opened near a school or near a homestead. Today, every door you walk outside your house, you either have a bar or you have a liquor store. So when you have all those things just right on our faces, what do you expect of the population, especially our young children? You will expect that they will actually go and try and consume that particular product that is easily available either in the next door bar or in the next door liquor store as they get out of their homes. So the drive to have these licenses controlled is a very good thing, and it's timely. And I think counties need to not only look at the licensing regime that they have at the county level, but also realize that alcohol and substance abuse is real, and therefore restrict the kind of and the number of places that can be given licenses, putting into consideration the schools nearby and the communities where these children and all these people are living, that alcohol sale should be actually in restricted areas, just like it used to be before, because that could help us limit the use of alcohol. Today's generation, Madam Chair, you realize that the generation is slowly deteriorating because they are mainly involved in alcohol and substance abuse, which is easily available and readily available for them. And therefore, when we move out of where we are now to them, to when they come in, who then will run our country? Who then will run the institutions if they are not responsible? So I support this report from the special committee, and I think that alcohol is something, and substance abuse is something that must be taken seriously, not only in the House, but at all levels of government, both at national, executive, and even the judiciary, because a lot of these cases go to the judiciary, and one of the things that happens at the judiciary is that they are given lenient fines or lenient bail terms, which then allows the same people to go back and have the same dens opened because they already have been given lenient judicial outcomes. So all arms of government, both judiciary, legislature, and the national government should actually come together in fighting this alcohol and substance abuse. I thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Member for Moyale, Honorable Guyo Jaldesa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to stand up to support the report on alcoholic drinks. And not only alcoholic drinks, this thing is actually consuming potential human beings. People can be useful in the society. People could be farmers. People could be contributing to the economy in many ways. Because of alcoholism, these people are just going down the drain and they are laying to waste. And for this reason, and for some of us who come from across the border, some of these drugs come from other countries, and very, very strong medication, drugs, alcohol, and even the leaves, the weeds, the bungi, which is destroying a lot of young people, a lot of women, a lot of men. And we need to come up with a very strong concerted effort to make sure that these things will not continue to consume the population of this country. It is actually eating up our human power that we cannot continue to produce not only young people, but even adults who are supposed to be responsible are just lying in the streets, showing very bad example. And we need to see the best way in which we can control the consumptions of these products. The licensing, as everybody has said, it is being consumed by everybody. It's sold everywhere. There's no regulation. And we need to see the best way in which we can control the consumptions of alcohol. I think things like, if instead of alcohol, especially the young people are given alternative ways of passing time. In the sports, it might be more beneficial to them, and we need to have not only some other time-consuming activities in every constituency, in every major town, so that we don't waste our youth just with alcohol and other drugs. With that, I support the motion, the report.
Thank you. Member for Isiolo South, Honorable Bidu. Bidu Tubi.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving me this opportunity. I want also to contribute to the report. I want to support the report in the sense that, Madam Speaker, the problem of alcohol and drugs is a big issue in everywhere in the part of this country, including even our own area, some of these arid lands, which used to be having no problem of alcohol, now is creeping in. We don't know how these things come. We are packaged drinks are coming into everywhere, every corner of this country. Where they come from, we don't know. We don't exactly know. Whether these people are licensed, how they were licensed is something which the government seems to go deeper and see some of these things. Because it is like, where there is food which is supplied, then there is always alcohol which is also there. In every part of the country, I can tell you. I can tell you in my area mostly. Most of those areas were not used to have some of these drinks, alcohol and all these things. There is the issue of drugs, yes. The drugs comes across from every other, even across the country, from our neighboring countries. And then finds its way deep into Kenya. And the security system is there. But it looks as if it's being abetted by the security system. You cannot expect some of this, like the drugs, traveling all the way from the world border into the center of the country, that is my constituency, which is geographically in the center of the country. You just wonder how do these drugs find their way from there into these areas? And then alcohol itself also, traveling from Nairobi or where it's manufactured, going deep into those areas, arid and semi-arid lands. So it's becoming a disaster. The government has to do something about this thing. About how do we think we can save our young generations, men and women, all of them are now engaged in this menace. So we need to do something about some of these things, and I support the report. Thank you.
Thank you. Member for Kangema, Honorable Kihungi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I start to support the report. Madam Speaker, on the issue to do with alcohol, like us from Central Province, it has become now a manic or a disaster or a tragedy that has now is washing out. I think it's a big thing. I don't know how I can interpret it. Every family has a story of a person maybe we have lost or a person who has become a zombie because of alcohol. And I think as it is important that the government now should come in seriously. I want to thank the President and His Excellency, the Deputy President, on the first step that they have taken right now, whereby they have canceled all the licenses for those people who are operating or are manufacturing these alcoholic drinks, mostly the second generation. Because before, what has been happening is that we have maybe we have an activity, maybe the government comes up whereby we work mostly on those who are in retail. But we don't deal with manufacturers. This MANIC will never be able to manage it. I want to say, right now, I've been in the village maybe for 3 days, and you can now attest that there are people are becoming sober. Our young men are working, and I think these things should be taken seriously, and the issue of substance use should be taken seriously by the government, because when our people don't become productive, this country will not be able to grow. We'll continue spending a lot of resources, mostly on medication. Therefore, I think those who are operating and those who are mostly in the manufacturing business, I think they should also be taxed enough to be able to have enough resources to manage the effects of those who are addicted or those who become addicted on alcohol drinks. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I want to support the report, and I wish to thank the government, and I call upon the government that this should be a serious activity that the government should be able to be part of this agenda, that will be able to, maybe when it comes to 2027, we will be able to audit one of its achievements is management of alcoholic drinks and substance use. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Member Honorable Catherine Omanyo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to support this. I'm a member of Special Funds Committee, and we came up with a few observations, especially to the young lads, the lads seated on my left and on my right. Alcohol is no friend to anyone. It can be temporarily something that makes you feel high or temporarily forget some problems. But in the long run, alcohol interferes with your brains. Your communication pathways in the brain gets weaker with time, and it makes it harder for the brain areas to make you control anything. You lose balance, judgment, you lose friends. If you are a husband or wife, you can lose your spouse. At work, you can lose your job. And I condemn or want to refuse certificates or the county government to license poison that kills people. You know, if you are given authority to license something, you license a thing that can make your people grow, your people sustain whatever they are doing. But if you license poison, we read on papers and witness many people dying after consuming alcohol. So to me, if it is a safer thing, then license it. I want this thing to come back to the national level. NACADA to take charge. We used to have an active NACADA office some days back. I do not know how it made its way back to the county level. So the county has enough on their plate to control, but alcohol, I think it should come back to national level. Otherwise, we are going to be breeding children who will never see the light of the day or will never maintain and build our country. The country is going down the brink because of misuse of these licenses being given to anyone. It's corruption. And I want to also support fully the report that Special Funds Committee came up with. That's it. Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Before the next speaker, allow me to recognize students from Nyimbei Secondary School, from Baringo South constituency, Baringo County, who are seated in the speaker's gallery. On my own behalf and the House, welcome to the National Assembly to observe the proceedings of the House. The next chance will go to the member for Kitui West, Honorable Nyenze.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to say that I support this report, and especially on the report on the alcohol and substance abuse and drug abuse. I would say that alcohol has really affected so many people in our country. And why is there so much influence on alcohol and substance abuse, especially amongst the youth, those ones who are also in the universities? We see them going to the universities and are not even able to complete their education because of peer pressure. There are also other reasons, as even availability of cheap liquor, which is affordable, so they are able to access it and use it, and also influence from their peers. And unemployment has also caused alcohol and substance abuse. And a lot of stress due to this unemployment, a lot of stress due to so many problems which the youth especially are exposed to. So as a country, it's important to really be very careful with the people we license to sell this alcohol. When the licensing was in default to the counties, it's like it has become very easy to get the license. It's very easy for people to just get the license and sell any kind of liquor, cheap liquor, which can be accessed by our youth. So it's important for the government to come up with strict rules on who should be licensed to get to sell alcohol. And what I would suggest is that alcohol should be banned in all small towns and only have a few big towns licensed to sell alcohol. Because if it's available in even every village, then that means now destroying the whole country, destroying our future, destroying the youth, because the alcohol is so available, it's so readily available, and the amount you use is so little. So if there will be strict licensing for only a few towns in each county, then this, according to me, will sort some of the problems. So, Madam Speaker, I say that it's also important to also have other activities which would keep the youth busy. When we've been having sports in our kitty, in the NGCDF kitty, and sports have really kept the youth away from alcohol, away from bad influence. They have really kept them busy. But now it has been removed from the kitty, and I'm sure this will have negative effect. So instead of removing sports from NGCDF, I think we should even enhance it and have more money put in this kit, which would keep our youth busy, and this will keep them away from alcohol and bad influence. So my suggestion is that we have sports back in the kitty, license fewer people to sell alcohol, and this would improve the menace which we are seeing, because with the time, if this continues, then we'll have our population reducing in most of the areas. And if the population reduces, that means we are even killing our future. We are even have no leaders for tomorrow. So, Madam Speaker, I support and encourage that we license fewer towns and just few designated areas. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Member for Keyo South.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I join the rest of my colleagues in supporting the report of the committee. Madam Speaker, the issue of alcohol has destroyed careers in this country. Alcohol has destroyed families. It has destroyed societies. I thank Our Excellency the President and his deputy for what they are trying to do in trying to eradicate these menace. I also equally thank the Minister for Internal Security for also what he's trying to do in this space of trying to eradicate the issue of illicit brews. But, Madam Speaker, I look at this issue of alcoholism, and there is an issue with licensing. I remember the days when licensing was done by NACADA, it was much better. But when the issue of licensing was left to counties, when you go back to the village, everybody is given a license. Places where we are not supposed to have bars, you get that bar in the middle of the village is licensed. I would wish that before any license is given out to anybody in the village, that public participation be done in that area, so that the people, the residents who stay in that area can be asked, do you want to have a bar in this area? Because initially, bars were in towns. Nowadays, we have bars in the villages. Almost after 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, you get a bar. So access is very easy to acquire this alcohol. Also, there is the issue of cheap imports from our neighboring cheap liquor, which are illicit from our neighboring countries. Of course, these are not licensed, but we still get them, which they come through dubious means. So maybe also those who are in charge of the border control, KRA, the people of customs, they should tighten this cheap liquor that come through our border. I take this to my local constituency, that's Keyo South constituency. I must thank the local administration, the DCC, the chiefs, the sub-chiefs, they're really doing a good work. And as their leader, I will support them. So far, through public participation, they have been able to close some bars in certain areas because the residents of those centers have said we don't want bars in these centers. I call on the people of Keyo South that let's support the local administration, let's support our DCCs, our chiefs, our sub-chiefs, our village elders as we try to work together through a whole approach of the society to eradicate the issue of alcoholism. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. There seems to be no more interest on this motion. I will call the mover to reply.
Honorable Speaker, I want to thank all the honorable members who have taken their time to debate on this issue. And most probably, the alcohol I've seen, it's the matter that has been raised severally. And I acknowledge my sister here who has addressed our young future leaders at the gallery there. We are reminding you that alcohol is bad for you. If you see us grown up saying it is bad, it is worse for you. And so we are requesting you, please abstain from alcohol. Honorable Speaker, all the recommendations that were made were done by a full committee, and I recommend my committee that they're always punctual for our meetings. They always contribute fairly to the matters that arise, and I can see a honorable member who is part of our committee acknowledging that. So we are one committee that never misses quorum. We never call for quorum. It is automatic. When there's a meeting, our committee is always seated. I thank them very much for that positive attitude. I also thank our support staff who help us go through all these audit queries. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move and I request you to kindly defer putting the question under pursuit standing order 53/3 to another sitting. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The request is assented to. Next order.
Order number 13, motion. Reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Land Settlements Fund and the Railway Development Fund.
Chairperson, Special Funds Accounts Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move to this House adopts the audited financial statement of the Land Settlement Fund for the financial year 2020-2021 and 2021-2022. 2, the Railway Development Fund holding account for the financial year 2017-2018 to 2021-2022. Honorable Speaker, the committee received oral and written submission from the following accounting officers: Mr. Nixon Corey, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Lands, and Mr. Mohamed Dagor, the Principal Secretary, State Department Transport. Honorable Speaker, in considering the report, the oral and the written submission received form the basis of the observations, findings, and recommendations of the committee as outlined in this report under each of the audit queries. These are also contained in the minutes and the answered reports of the committee proceedings. Honorable Speaker, during the examination of the audited reports, the committee noted the following general observations: long outstanding receivables from exchange transactions. Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that the land loan and development loan issued to settlers by the Land Settlement Fund as back as of the year 1962 have remained outstanding to date. The fund has outstanding land loans and development loans equivalent to 6,811,916,396 shillings and 68,966,377. The outstanding interest on the loans at 30th June 2022 was at 5,163,149 shillings. Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that within 6 months upon the adoption of the report, the accounting officer to provide a progress report on the recovery of the principal loan and the outstanding interest receivable to the Auditor General for audit verification. Undisputed land. Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that the land in Kisimanjoro in Nakuru County that was meant for resettlement of the IDPs in 2012 had not been surveyed or subdivided, and therefore the beneficiaries had not settled over 10 years after the purchase of the land due to ongoing court cases which restrained the Land Settlement Fund from interfering with the land parcel. Honorable Speaker, the committee also observed that the delay in the distribution of the land for the informal settlers in Mikanjuni Farm in Kilifi County and Kazandani land in Mombasa County was occasioned by the ongoing planning to cater for the amenities such as access roads and public utility facilities. Madam Speaker, the committee recommends that the accounting officer to fast-track the resolution of the dispute with the county government of Kilifi to bring the matter to a conclusion and settle the IDPs, and within 3 months of the adoption of this report, the accounting officer to provide progress report on the resolution of the dispute to the Auditor General. 2, Madam Speaker, the committee recommends within 6 months of the adoption of this report, the accounting officer to provide a status report on the resettlement of the informal settlers in the Kazda Ndani land to Auditor General for the audit verification. Madam Speaker, the committee observed that a field verification conducted by the Office of the Auditor General during the month of September 2022 sampled land adjudication and settlement officers revealed that stations operated a bank account for funds received for the office administration but did not maintain a cash book. Further, the monthly bank reconciliation statement had not been prepared and submitted to the National Treasury with a copy of the Office of the Auditor General as stipulated under Regulation 90/1 of the Public Finance Management Regulations 2015. Madam Speaker, the committee noted that the accounting officer's submission that all the county land adjunctions and settlements officers in charge were instructed by the Office of the Director of Land, Adjudication and Settlement to adhere to Regulations 90/1 of the Public Finance Management Act for control, accountability of finances, and smooth, efficient running of office operations. Excuse me. Madam Speaker, the committee recommends that the accounting officer to ensure that proper applicable accounting and financial control systems, standards, laws, and procedures are followed in the preparation of the financial statement in the compliance with the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and in accordance with the standard prescribed by the Public Sector Accounting Standard Board as per the Regulation 101/4 of the Public Finance Management National Government Regulations 2012. Madam Speaker, there was also discrepancies in report receipts. The committee observed that 21,613,549,219 revenue collection by the Railway Development Fund holding account for the financial year 2018-2019 was not supported by analysis of receipt from Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA. The actual figure for performance of 5,815,007,642 as per the summary of the budget was erroneously posted to the statement of receipt and payment. However, the erroneous figures was replaced with the correct figure of 21,613,544,290. The committee noted that the accounting officer submission that the receipt as per the summary of the budget versus actual performance figure were erroneously posted to the statement and the correct amount was later posted. Madam Speaker, the committee recommends that within 3 months of the adoption of this report, the accounting officer to submit the analysis of KRA receipts, making up the figure of 21,613,544,290 for the total revenue of the fund. And the accounting officer should ensure that all applicable accounting and financial control systems, standard, laws, and procedures are followed in the preparation of the financial statement in accordance with the standard prescribed by the Public Accounting Standard Board and in compliance with Regulation 101/4 of the Public Finance Management National Government Regulations 2015. Madam Speaker, again, I want to commend our committee for always being there when such issues arise. They deliberated well. They did all they could to make sure that the taxpayers' money is well spent, and wherever there was a query, we queried in accordance with the laws and regulations. Madam Speaker, I would request Honorable Beigo to second the motion.
Member for Chesumei.
Madam Speaker, thank you for this opportunity that the chair has given me, and I stand here to actually commend her for steering the committee well, and as she has rightfully put it, we don't have quorum hitches, and that is because she's a chair lady who knows how to chair the meetings and take care of her members, and that is why all the time, whenever we have meetings, we are available. So, Madam Chair, continue with that good leadership and steering the committee. So, I stand to second. Thank you.
Okay, members, I therefore propose the motion that this House adopts the 7th report of the Special Funds Account Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Land Settlements Fund for the financial years 2020-2021 and 2021-2022, and the Railway Development Fund holding account for the financial years 2017, 2018, 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020, 2020, 2021, and 2021, 2022, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 7th December, 2023. There seems to be no interest in this motion, so I will call the mover to reply.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. Thank you all the members, though you have not contributed. For that reason, I'm requesting, Madam Speaker, that most of the members are out in other committee meetings. I'm requesting you to kindly give us a next opportunity so that we can debate on the matter.
Procedurally, that is not possible, Chair. Just reply. We'll put the question at the right time.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much. Once more, I appreciate all the efforts that have been made by our committee members to bring this report to the House. Madam Speaker, I would like to report that Special Funds Accounts Committee do sit on 94 reports. We have 94 funds that we do inquiries on and oversight. So, Madam Speaker, on behalf of myself and my team, our team, I say thank you to our support staff, our honorable members, and we look forward to bringing more reports to the House that will serve Kenyans and show them their taxpayers' money is being utilized in the right manner. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to move.
Honorable Kagogo, you know, you're confusing the chair. She was replying, and under Standing Order 53, we'll defer the putting of the question to the next sitting. Next order.
Order number 14, the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023, second reading.
Majority Leader? If not in the House, we will step it down. And we have exhausted the business for the morning of Thursday, March 21. So, order, members. And the time being 12:15 p.m., this House stands adjourned until today, Thursday, 21st March 2024 at 2:30 p.m.